Hello, hello, hello. Hey, everybody. Okay, so tonight I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm on early. I'm on early, guys, because I have a whole week of pouring that's going to be done into me, and so that live starts at 8 o'clock. So I'm literally going to be up here 15 minutes, but I had to show my face to you all and say what's up. I am so happy to be here with you all on tonight. Listen, I just wanted to come out really, really quickly. And I don't know if you all know it, but I wrote a book back in 2022. It's called God, Grace, and Mercy: Surviving Tough Times and Seasons of Marriage. And I was under the unction of the Holy Ghost to go into my book tonight and to read a small excerpt from my book. Okay. If you have not purchased you a copy, I got about 14 on hand right now. You can get it on Barnes and Nobles. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it directly from me. You can get it from Lulu Publishing. Okay. But I wanted to read an excerpt that God had told me about. And hey, I see you joined. Nice to see you. And so I'm going to read that really quickly and then I'm going to close out in prayer. And so the chapter or the part that God wanted me to go to tonight is literally called Where We Go Wrong. Now, I don't know about you all, but I know I have made some mistakes, okay, in this journey of restoration and being a proxy wife. And so, because that has happened and that's occurred, God really took me through a refining system. And so, He wanted me to talk to people tonight, especially about where we go wrong, especially when couples end up in crisis or there's a problem that is present. Okay. And so it says, with marriage comes disagreements. Disagreements often are a difference in perspective. If not handled correctly, disagreements become weapons by which we harm our spouses and ourselves. Our words become lethal weapons that we use to tear each other down. It is the only strategy in the enemy's arsenal that does not involve him directly. Disagreements cause friction between spouses and breaks down communication. It contaminates healthy expressions and keeps couples from resolving their issues. As a result, unforgiveness, anger, and isolation creep in. Breakdowns in communication breeds resentment. Then pride becomes the incubator that multiplies all the bad infectious behaviors. Soon enough, talks about separation or divorce are on the table. Most couples give up in the throes of building or rebuilding because things get messy. Come on, somebody. Just think about a construction site. A house does not magically appear without any disruptions. There is a process that happens. Understanding there will be messy moments will keep you from quitting for the greater good of your marriage. Don't allow the temporary disappointments to ruin the finished work. Y'all hear that? Don't allow temporary disappointments to ruin the finished work. And then I'm going to read you a part that talks about wisdom lesson. Before you get mad, blow up, storm out, or sin, ask yourself, what blessing or promise is waiting on the other side of this? If you take inventory, you will notice a correlation between the problem and the promise given. Therefore, it is so important not to miss these sacred moments to grow and heal. My God, today. So, God really wanted me to point this out about where we go wrong because a lot of times what we're dealing with is a hard heart. Okay. And when we have breakdowns in communication, it's normally a matter of perspective, right? We see something one way, our spouse sees something the other way or another way, and we feel like if they're not in agreement with what we see, then there's somehow that this cannot be reconcilable, which is the furthest thing from the truth. And so what we end up doing is we start using our words to tear each other down. And God was really pointing that out to me about talking about where we go wrong. Oftentimes it's this communication, y'all. If we don't get our communication right, it literally leaves us in a place where we end up talking about separation and divorce. Come on, somebody. And I was loving how it says that it contaminates healthy expressions and keeps couples from resolving issues. Oftentimes, because we're not sure how to, watch this, approach our spouse in a way that doesn't trigger them or that we don't get triggered, we oftentimes will settle for isolation. We oftentimes will settle for unforgiveness. We oftentimes will settle for anger. And so, what we have to do in this moment is say, okay, there's something that's going wrong in my marriage. I see it, it is a real thing. But how can I begin to act and respond in such a way where I'm not contaminating my communication with my spouse? My God, today. How are you responding? And then look, I have a discussion question. This is just something for you to think about. What does the spirit of agreement look like inside of your household? Some people might be like, girl, I don't know what no spirit of agreement look like in my household because we fight all the time. Right? Come on, we're going to be real. Listen. But you have to watch this. You have to understand what the spirit of agreement looks like in your house. Okay? I will never forget the first piece of advice that I heard through prayer was you can agree to disagree and yet remain agreeable. See, we don't often know that the enemy is after our agreements. If he can get us, watch this, to break down our communication, he's already won 80% of the battle. And so, what we have to do is we have to recenter, we have to refocus, we have to ask God to come in and begin to work on our hearts, work on our responses. Come on, somebody. Work on how we approach our spouse. And the other thing I loved about this part where it says, most couples give up in the throes of building or rebuilding because things get messy. Just think about a construction site. A house does not magically appear without any disruptions. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but when I first started my marriage out, it was a shack, okay? Big Bad Wolf came and blew my little straws and sticks over, okay? Can I get an amen? Hello. And so, what we have to realize is once the house is blown down, that does not mean that you quit. Oh, Lord. Come on, somebody. That don't mean you go get something else. No. Your house blew down because God needed you to see the vulnerabilities, to see what foundation you were building your covenant on. And so oftentimes we take our houses being blown down as a disruptor and a deterrent to say God ain't in it. And that's not true. God is saying I'm absolutely in it, but I need you to build on a firm foundation. And I need you to put watch this, these sticks of unforgiveness, these twigs and what's the other word I used in here? Anger and isolation. Those are twigs and those are sticks. And the straw and sticks ain't gonna have are not gonna last in a windy situation when the enemy is blowing all the wind that he can on your marriage to blow it down and tear it apart. So what we have to remember is, yeah, we're gonna have to rebuild. when you're talking about restoration, yes, you are going to have to rebuild. Absolutely. But that's all right. Rebuilding is okay. And watch this. And it's okay if things get messy. Come on, somebody. We want to just walk up and our house be built. And I wish that was the case, but it is not. God is asking us to do the work. And what that means is there's going to be some moments that it gets messy, but you cannot get discouraged when you see things that are not in order for a season. Whenever you go on a construction site, it looks messy. But when you see it after 10 months or 12 months and things begin to come into order and process, then you say, okay. So, what God is trying to do for couples in this season is He's trying to build us, watch this, from these straw and stick houses that we had. And He's now trying to get us to build our mansions. Come on, somebody. He's trying to get us to build our brick houses. He's trying to get us to build these compounds of covenants that we came before Him and said that we wanted. So that was a little excerpt from my book. Like I said, Where We Go Wrong. Listen, this book right here is an absolute game changer. And I'm not just saying that because I wrote it. I'm saying it because it's God breathed. Okay. When I tell you God snatched me and my edges all the way together, He did, but He did it for my good. And so what I need you to do, this book literally, watch this, is a coaching session. Just like people go for coaching and do one-on-one counseling, this is what this book entails. You can get a one-on-one coach by reading this book and answering the questions that are within inside of it. So what I need you to do, like I said, I got 14 copies. I need you to inbox me. Say, Nat, I need this coaching. I need this one-on-one. I need to be able to walk through this book so that I can watch this, not go wrong anymore. I can begin to build my house and I ain't got to worry about it falling this time because I'm going to build it the way God intended for me to. All right. I love you all. If I missed you all, it's okay. Catch the replay. I just did not want to let time go by and not come out and say hello. Y'all pray for me. I'm going to be in the Woman Arise Masterclass, which I'm super excited about. I know God is going to be doing some amazing things. And so I'm really looking forward to what Miss Medina Pulling is going to be talking about today about a devoted wife. Y'all know that's me. I'm the proxy wife. So I know all about devotion. And so I'm just looking for this whole week of just being poured into. But if you want to be poured in, I need you to get this book, God, Grace, and Mercy. Inbox me. Go on Amazon. Go on Lulu Publishing. Go on Barnes and Nobles. You will find this book. I would much rather you get it directly from me. Hello. Yeah. Support me first. These books are $20. $20. Okay. And that's with shipping. So if you need me to ship it, that's what you're shipping and handling. Okay. $20. Okay. If I can meet you, we can meet and I can do it for 15. Okay. But this right here is a one-on-one coaching session for you. I love you all so much. You all take care. Get the book. It's going to help you to get the right perspective about your marriage. All right. I love y'all. I'm about to go in my class, Woman Arise. Y'all take care. Bye.